Hey everyone, this is Lindsay. Welcome back to my channel. So today is the big day, big news, big changes. I've been telling you all for a while that today, June 27th, 2022, I would be announcing changes to the shop and changes especially for my suppliers. And that is what today's video is all about. You should pay very close attention if you purchase frequently from the shop, if you are a journal artist, a journal supplier, or you're just a generally curious person, because I'm going to be going over a lot of things today. And I will be updating Facebook under the featured section. So the Facebook is Nevermore Creations, Junk Journals and Friends. You can find that in the description box below this video as well. And under the featured section, I have a list of guidelines, mostly for journals, but I'm going to just change things to reflect what I'm talking about today so everybody can find this information. If it is not changed or updated, by the time you see this, it will be shortly. I'll have that updated by the end of the week for sure. Okay, so before I go in, we're going to have some new items in the shop today. So we're going to be looking at these ephemera holders here. But before I go into that, I kind of need to give a little bit of backstory. Previously, before I started this business over 5 years ago, and before I had kids, so rewind about 10 years, I was a high school English teacher. And I taught for a year, I tutored for a year, and then I had 3 kids. And I started my business while I was at home with them. Well, things have changed again in my life. My kids are all older. My youngest is going into 1st grade. So I will be going back to teaching this fall, and I will be going back full time. So I will be teaching English as well as a few other classes for their school. So this is very good for us as a family because last year, I can't even tell you the number of times I drove back and forth between my house trying to run my business here and the school, picking them up, dropping them off, back and forth to CrossFit, which is right next to the school. Most of you know I do CrossFit, and some days it was 4 or 5 times back and forth. And that eats a lot into the day. And every time I had an opportunity, I was coming back home to work. And well, gas prices right now, it costs a lot of gas and it costs a lot of time. Their tuition as well, private Christian school, is expensive. It is reasonable compared to maybe other private Christian schools, but it is our largest bill by far, and bigger than our mortgage, to put it into perspective, because we have 3 kids in the school. So it was a big weight on me every month to try to make sure that I get enough items sold to cover that and to help with other expenses and things. And long story short, it's opened up for me to go back to teaching, especially English, which is what I love to do. What I have a bachelor's degree in education for the Christian school, or secondary education for the Christian school. So I'll be teaching high school. And now that might concern some of you because you're like, what's going to happen to the shop and the journals and the channel? And overall, nothing's going to really change. But on the other hand, things are going to change. So that is what this whole video is about. How things are changing, what you can expect. Is there anything you need to do? And all of that. I have spent probably by now at least a month, if not longer, ironing this all out, figuring it out, and all of that. This is not, I didn't just jump on here letting you all know what might be happening. I wanted to make sure everything was ironed out and made sense. So I'm going to talk, I have 3 points on this talk. And the first part is what is effective right now as of today. The second part is starting in August. And the third part is what stays the same. Actually, I think I'll make stays the same the first one, just because it's probably the quickest one. Get that out of the way, and maybe a couple of you can take a deep breath. So what's going to stay the same is my Creative Fabric of Fans page. You can find that link in the description box below. I post there multiple times a week, and I still will do that. I do hope that if you are not a fan, I kind of need you now more than ever if it's something that you would really enjoy, because this job that I'm taking at their school, their tuition will be free. So what a blessing. And I will get a paycheck, but I won't have as much time to work here at the shop. So anything extra really helps out, of course, with extra things. So if that's something you've been thinking about doing, I would love to have you. That will stay the same. So definitely. Vintage Image Club. If you remember, I resurrected it from the dead this year. And that will stay the same through the end of the year, at least. It may go back into retirement after Christmas, but at least for the rest of the year, there will be a new collection every week or so at Vintage Image Club. If you are interested in that and you don't own it, you're going to want it. There's about 300 folders of images with a new folder every week. It is right on my homepage, nevermorecreation17.com. You can purchase it and have instant access. My Facebook group is not changing. Nevermore Creations, Junk Journals, and Friends will stay the same. It will be there. Please post. The only rule is kindness and crafts. So it needs to be craft related, and you need to be kind. This is not a place to talk about politics. It's not a place to talk about, things that aren't related to crafts, but you can put your items, if you want to sell something, you can tell people it's for sale. That's fine. Post your digitals, post your creations, ask questions, make friends, swap, all that stuff. That's still there, and I'll be over there active and sharing stuff. My digitals are not changing, so they're all still for sale, both on Etsy and on my Shopify, which is nevermorecreation17.com. I'll continue to make new digitals and share them with you. The new digitals I make that are not exclusive will be in the Ultimate Lifetime Collection, so that's staying the same. For right now, and this is one that is kind of in the might stay the same category, are my prints of digitals. That I was going to totally quit and pull that and not do that anymore. And I feel like I need to keep that open for right now. That might change in the future if I don't have time to fill print orders. But if I'm only getting a couple print orders, I should be able to fill that, no problem. So for right now, you can still get prints, but there's not a guarantee that's going to stay. So that's the one that's not guaranteed. All right, so that's what stays the same. Where should I go to next? I guess effective now. We'll talk about that. My shop is going to change. So I'm going to keep my shop, nevermorecreation17.com, but I'm only really going to sell 2 types of items: journals, handmade journals, and handmade stuffed ephemera folders. And at the end of this video, you're going to see that. Some examples. Joanne made these, and I have a couple Lonnie had made me that are my personal ones that aren't for sale, to give you some ideas. So I'll give you some background. Pardon me for a long video, but I really feel like I need to explain myself, and I feel like I just need to take the time to answer questions you might have and things like that. So currently, I sell handmade journals by myself and other artists. It's called the Marketplace, right? And then I have a supply section, and I sell things like charms and, journal cards and books and paper and dangles and playing cards and postcards and all those fun things we love to put in our journals. That is a very big headache to manage. Very easy to slip through the cracks, lots of little things. You all know shipping's gone way up for the post office, and I try to have free shipping in my shop, and I try to add extra into the price of the product so I can cover shipping, but with little things that makes it very hard. It's a huge headache, and it's really hard to discount those items and make a profit if they need to be discounted. So I want to thank Joanne for spending a lot of time helping me figure this out, what would run best for the shop. Our dear Joanne is always wonderful. And she made these as ideas for all of you. Okay, so we still want to sell supplies. I thought about just going to journals, and I thought about just going to my journals and stopping the Marketplace, but it's such an amazing thing we have going here. I would really feel bad to stop it. So I have to figure out a way to make it work, right? So for the supplies, we decided, what takes me such a long time, it can take me 1 to 2 hours to list a box of supplies. I don't have that kind of time when I'm teaching full time. I barely have that kind of time now. And it's all sorts of little piddly stuff, and it takes forever to take it out of a bag, set it up, take a picture, you know, all of that, and it can take me forever. So the idea is everything is going to be book form. So like Joanne has this here, right? And this is for supplies. It opens up, and look, you still see Joanne's amazing supplies, right? She has a pocket here. She has a pocket here. There's a top loading pocket. She has a pocket here, a pocket here. This is the bare minimum of what I'm looking for. What she has here is the bare minimum. I do ask that most of you suppliers do this as the minimum, if not bigger, because we want to keep it at about a $20 price point for most things, $20 and up. So this is going to be at the bare minimum, so maybe a little bit more than this. But the idea is I can take a picture, flip, take a picture, flip, take a picture, flip, take a picture, and not have to arrange everything. The artist would arrange. So Joanne arranged these in the pockets so that it shows off the way she wants it to show off. And it is beautiful, right? And it's still all these beautiful things that you would get from Joanne. Normally they would be in like a bag like this. She doesn't usually do the leopard print ones, but you know, they'd be in a bag. I'd have to pull them out of the bag, arrange them all, put them all back in the bag. So suppliers don't do that anymore, okay? Make a book, a holder, a folder, something for them, okay? And then you can still sell them. I think it'll help you all too, because you may actually wind up making more money because I can sell it for a different price point because the holder is reusable. So that's the idea. So this one is for sale. And then you can see here on her little paper, 28-page ephemera notebook. Then there's like 15 ephemera pieces. So she put some information. So what I would need you to do, suppliers, is have a little piece here. She named it Sweet Seamstress. So you're going to name it for me, because when I have to come up with names, it takes time. I'm not going to have time, okay? And then whatever's in it, you don't necessarily have to write out as much as she did. You could just say, 15 journal cards and a 28-page notebook, or, 20 journal cards or 20 ephemera pieces or whatever. And also putting the size, I think we want to do that, would help me. So whatever the dimensions are, that would help me. So think about what you do for a journal. Do the same thing. This would just hold all these little supplies, right? Here's another example here. And again, it flips and it's full of, I can take pictures without having to arrange everything. And you have a wonderful ephemera holder. We won't be selling wallpaper in the shop anymore. Well, I reserve the right as the owner that if I want to list something that does not fall in this category, of course I can. So I might still list wallpaper. It will not be I can't list wallpaper for other people anymore, or little things for other people anymore. But Joanne has come up with this wonderful, this is a wallpaper ephemera holder here, wallpaper and ephemera variety pack. So you can see here, she's made this wonderful, gorgeous ephemera holder. And she has managed to put wallpaper in here in the pockets. You can see here, she's arranged it so you can see what's in it. I don't have to arrange it. And you're getting a wonderful pieces of wallpaper and things like that. How gorgeous is that? So suppliers, if you have wallpaper, vintage book pages, things like that you're going to want to sell, this is how you're going to have to display them to put them in my shop. And then here's one. You can see here how gorgeous. Beautiful. All right, so you get an idea of some of the things you can do. Now, all these are for sale, so they'll be available as you're watching this. Head over to the shop and you will be able to purchase them. This one here actually has a journal, right, in this side, and then ephemera here in this side. Sweet Rose's journal in a folio with ephemera. So that's kind of how things are going to have to be displayed for the future. Otherwise, I would end up having to just drop supplies because I wouldn't be able to manage it all. All right, we still have a lot more to talk about. You've got kind of the gist, but there's still a lot more. Looking at my notes here. Okay, guidelines. They're the same for journals. Okay, so whatever you've been making for journals, they're the same. The ephemera holders don't have guidelines per se, but please err on the side of the highest quality you can make, at the most visually inspiring, because if you want to keep your position as a supplier or you'd like to become a supplier, you're going to have really high quality work. Otherwise, I can send your stuff back, but you would be asked to maybe no longer be a supplier, or to, take a few months to work on your prototypes and then send me a prototype. But the majority of you who consistently sell with me and all of my suppliers and stuff, you're going to do just fine. I know you are. There's a few things that are important for what is okay inside the ephemera holders. All ephemera inside the folders must be handmade, public domain, or permission granted. Okay? What does that mean? That means that when you're purchasing digitals, a lot of people purchase and use digitals, you cannot purchase digitals, cut them out, and stick them in the folder and sell them. Okay? Now, inside a journal, when you have a whole journal and you're sticking, cutting out and sticking an ephemera into a whole handmade journal, that's fine. But these ephemera holders are meant for other people to use this ephemera in their crafts and things like that. So if you are selling supplies, if you're selling ephemera holders, you either have to make, I'm going to use some of Joanne's here as an example of what I'm talking about, okay? You have to make the ephemera. What do I mean? This is considered made. All right, so this image here, Joanne did not create this image. I'm not sure. It might be My Porch Prints. It might be another. I'm not sure. But she couldn't just cut this image out and put it in the folder, okay? And there may be a few things in here she may have done something like that. We're still working on. Nope, she didn't. Good, awesome. So she created something with it. Look at what she's done here. She's created something with it, okay? So you even this, she cut it out, but look at what she did. She collaged it. All right, she's making things with the digitals, okay? So you either have to make something with it, so it's not just cut out and put in here. That's for just being very respectful of the person who created the digitals. A lot of them don't want you cutting them out and selling them. They need to be part of a bigger whole, okay? Or they can be public domain. So if they're in the public domain, obviously nobody owns the rights to them. I don't know if she has an example in here, but for example, my Vintage Image Club, maybe even this one, some of these things might be from like either Vintage Image Club or from like the public domain, and nobody owns them. You can print them, sell them. That's fine. Okay, see, they're from the public domain. She doesn't have to create something with them if she doesn't want to. Nobody owns them. She can sell them. Or permission granted. What does that mean? Okay, that means a shop that allows you. So that would be like print on demand. Creative Fabrica has a lot of stuff like that. Or you have to read through the guidelines on Etsy. Like if you're in a shop, you can see what's allowed, and it might say it's allowed or not allowed. Or you're going to have to contact the artist and tell them what you're planning on doing and ask if it's okay. All right, so for this, for example, I actually created this. Joanne has permission from me, right, to use my ephemera cut out and put in a folder. I gave her that permission. So she has, and I think she even has permission from another shop or two. I think I won't name the shops because the shop might have given her permission and not somebody else. But you're going to have to prove to me that you have permission. So what that would look like is like on the back or whatever, or in another little piece of paper, you could say, digitals by, say, ABC Digitals, permission granted by email, or permission granted in terms or something like that. That way I know you're not going to get in trouble. I'm not going to get in trouble. Or it's public domain, or like say this wasn't mine and they didn't have permission, right? She could create something with it, right? You could put it on a pocket, and you could, stamp on it, put it on a pocket, stitch, turn it into something. So now it is handmade. I hope that makes sense. That needs to happen for selling any kind of ephemera so we don't get in trouble. What else do I want to talk about? There will be no more challenges. We've been doing challenges. The challenge that is currently running that ends in a couple days is the last challenge. That does not mean you don't send in journals or boxes of journals. You absolutely can. But starting July 1st, all boxes will just be numbered and go in that order. We're not going to do groups or challenges anymore. I don't have time for that, unfortunately. But you can still send in your journals and I will still show them. All right, I will still show them. I have no guarantee for how long it will take me. I will do them in order of receiving them, no exceptions. Okay, this isn't what I feel like doing. This is in the order of receiving them. I will have them numbered. I will have them stacked, and they are no exceptions in the order I receive them. Unfortunately, that will probably also include journal suppliers. So their box will be in there and numbered along with everybody else's. I do reserve the right for ephemera holders for those kind of supplies to go out of order if I wish to add some more supplies to the shop. So say, for example, I'm working through a box of journals by an artist, and then I get a box of from one of my suppliers, like say Cindy Anderson or Yvette or Joanne, and they have ephemera folders in there and the supplies are going low, then I do reserve the right to bump the suppliers up if I want to. But if you're just a regular artist, for sure you are going in order number. There's no time guarantee and no holiday guarantee. I'm sorry. If you want to sell a holiday journal, you can, but it's just whenever I get to it. There's no guarantee that it will be sold by a holiday. My idea right now is either, and this will probably change from week to week, either listing about 2 items a day or having videos 2 times a week starting in August. July will look pretty similar to August, except that I do have a vacation coming up here this July 4th weekend. So there may be a couple days where there's not a video when there normally would be. And near the end of August, as I'm prepping to start last week of July, I'm going to flip you guys around so you can see me now since I'm talking. The last week of July might be different, and it might look more like August will look. So my idea is, so say I get a big box of journals from an artist and there's 8 journals in there. I will most likely not show and list all 8 journals in a day. I might, but I might just take 2 out, like say every morning or every evening, do a quick little video, chat with you all, update, here's what's in the shop, and add them. It's not going to be huge videos full of tons of stuff because I won't have time for that. I'll have a little bit of time for crafting every week that I want to protect for my own craft time. So I'm not going to be filming during that time. And then on the weekend, so instead of paying, right now I pay my artist pretty much every weekday, Monday through Friday, but I will only do that once a week. So it will be a weekend payday. It will either be a Friday, a Saturday, or Sunday. Every week, everything that is sold during the week from those artists, which shouldn't be that much, because if I'm only doing 2 journals a day, that might be, 10 journals that were listed over the course of the week. So that will all be paid on the weekend, and then they'll all be shipped from the previous week on the weekend. So instead of shipping almost every day like I do now, I shouldn't have as many things to ship because I won't have all the little things, and I won't be listing boxes and boxes and boxes every week. So, I know that this might be a lot for some of you, especially some of you who want your stuff shown very, soon after you've gotten it and all of that. I'm just going to have to see how it works. I want to get as much stuff listed as possible. Maybe I'll wind up with more time than I'm expecting, and maybe I'll be able to list more. But I'm hoping that you'll Stick around with me if you want to. Of course, if you can't, I always support you starting your own Etsy shop. And just, we'll see how this goes together. But this is, oh, can you see the toilet paper up on the top shelf? How fun is that? I have so much to do this month to prepare. I am excited. This is what I went to school for. This is what I really want to do, but I also really want to do my shop, and I love handmade journals, and I'm not stopping, and I will continue to work on that. It brings me such joy. I will continue my digitals. It brings me such joy. You all bring me such joy. So you'll see me every week. It just might not be as frequent and as much because I will have a full-time job. There's going to be a lot of days where I'm working. Well, will work till 3. My CrossFit class will start at 4, and I won't get home till after 5. And I'll have to prep and be ready for the next day. So, you're going to see little bits of me here and there, but I'm still here. I hope that you will still message me, comment on Facebook group. I will try to do more like things on Facebook because I won't be able to do as many videos because I'll be in the classroom. But there's times I'm going to be able to get on Facebook and chat with you all like, oh, I'm going to be working on a digital today. What theme should I do? And then, if I choose your theme, you get the free digital. And like, I'm still going to be here. I'm still going to be involved. And I don't want anybody to think I'm leaving or I just have to scale down. Now, there are breaks. There are school breaks. There's summer break, different breaks. And when I'm not on vacation, I will be able to do a little bit more. So you're going to see times when it's like, oh, there's a day off, but we're just going to be home that day. And so maybe I wind up being able to list like 2 boxes of journals and craft for a few hours and maybe film videos ahead for the next week. It's just I'm going to have to see how it all goes. I do hope you all support me in this. The best way that you can support me right now is just to continue to watch my videos, continue to purchase from my shop, become a fan over on Creative Fabrica Fans page, and then consider purchasing the Ultimate Lifetime Collection or the Summer Journal Elements Club because that helps support me as well. And I think you're going to love that. They're right on my homepage. All right, I'm going to end this very long video. If I didn't answer your question, please comment below. I can't guarantee that I answer YouTube comments because there can be like a whole bunch of weird ones and I can miss the good ones. But my email is below. The best way to reach me quickly is Facebook Messenger. Ask the questions. I'll get to them as soon as I can and I'll answer them because I'm pretty sure there's like about a half a dozen questions I haven't answered. I just can't think of them right now. I hope you all have a wonderful, amazing day. This week looks pretty normal. Okay. I will have videos Monday through Thursday, and Friday I leave for vacation and won't be back till Tuesday. So there probably won't be another video then till Wednesday. I'm not going to pre-film. I have too much to do and y'all need to get used to 2 or 3 videos a week. So I'm trying not to spoil you too much in July, but still, next week should be well, I guess no, that's starting Wednesday, but the next couple weeks will be pretty normal, what you're used to seeing. But I might start integrating some of the changes so that you kind of see what's coming. All right. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see all of you later.